Archives have existed for centuries. Archaeologists have discovered archives of hundreds of clay tablets going back to the 3rd and 2nd millennia BC, and were well developed by the ancient Chinese, the ancient Greeks, and ancient Romans. Since then, archives have been used to keep track of events, people, cultural artifacts, and traditions. However, recent critiques from rhetorical, cultural, and historical scholars have analyzed the deeply rhetorical nature of archiving. In the field of rhetoric and communication studies, archives have been acknowledged as social constructs, and with that, contain implications of power, memory, and knowledge. The origin of the word itself reveals the power dynamics at play in the existence of archives, as the residence of the superior and commanders. The term archive has been synonymous with authority and power. In general, archives consist of records that have been selected for permanent or long-term preservation on grounds of their enduring cultural, historical, or evidentiary value. One of the most well-known examples of an archive is the National Archives in Washington, D.C., which houses a collection of documents that record important events in the United States history. However, the cultural implications of an archive cannot be ignored by academic scholars. The power dynamics present in the creation and implementation of archives is of utmost concern for rhetorical, cultural, and communication studies due to its ability to shape the narratives of public memory. As Derrida writes, there is no political power without control of the archive, if not memory. Effective democratization can always be measured by this essential criterion: the participation in and access to the archive, its constitution, and its interpretation. Because of the deeply rhetorical and therefore political nature of archives, they can also be employed as a rhetorical weapon for creating and maintaining state domination and control, as they are the symbols of power and knowledge that state actors may rest on to secure and bolster their right to rule ideology. Schwartz and Cook summarize these cultural and historical implications best. Archives, as records, wield power over the shape and direction of historical scholarship, collective memory, and national identity, and over how we know ourselves as individuals, groups, and societies. Technological advancements have transformed the modern understanding of the archive. With the creation of the internet and the increasing access to information, research, and primary resources, an archive's establishment goes beyond a mere definitional distinction. Due to the increasing use of digital archive keeping, the definition of an archive as restricted to a certain location and accessibility is no longer necessary. Online archives have been becoming increasingly popular on university campuses, including the University of Richmond, where a group of students has been archiving the history of race and racism on Richmond's campus. Similar projects are happening across the United States. For example, Columbia University has established an online archive documenting Columbia's influence in the New York borough of Harlem. Archive projects like these are attempting to change our understanding of history and power. All in all, archives have the power to shape history and culture. Because of this, archives are not neutral. What gets included, who gets included, and why are important questions that scholars in rhetoric and communications need to ask of an archive. The inherently rhetorical nature of archives must be acknowledged when researching and developing ideas concerned with history, culture, society, and identity.